Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this Gallifreyan design. It was done using Loren Sherman's fan-made Gallifreyan script, which uses a combination of dots and lines on these 4 different stems to make the consonants, and vowels are these smaller circles, and they're a bit trickier, and their positioning matters quite a lot, and their positioning changes depending on if they're attached to a consonant. So this would be like a consonant stem, or if they're just on the word itself, which this is like the word circle. A's are outside, E's, I's, U's, all the same position towards the middle, and O's are centralized, or like more towards, I guess, the middle of the circle. And then this is punctuation, which there is none of in this design, so meh, that's irrelevant. Anyway, so Sherman's version of Gallifreyan is typically read bottom counterclockwise in a circle. But if you have an infinitely large circle, you would just read left to right, which is why this one is set up left to right. But each word is still read bottom counterclockwise. Now, this design I made to save space. I want it to be as close and compact as possible to hopefully make it fit on a wrist tattoo. With that being said, I overlapped the T stem, so this 50% or less shallow divot stem, I made it overlap with the next word. So yeah, there's examples of that happening there. And I also made words tiny and made a bigger connective circle to connect them all. Also in this design, thickness and thinness of lines does not matter at all whatsoever. So again, if your tattoo artist is trying to make it fit on your wrist, you can just make all the lines the same thinness. I just kind of add the thickness and thinness to make it look a bit cooler. Anyway, let's go ahead and start looking at this design and reading it using this key. So this is our first word. Here's the bottom of it, and this chunk taken out is the first stem we hit, and it is this 50% or less completed circle, shallow divot, and on it there is an open circle, which is a vowel, an O, hanging out on that line of the word circle towards the middle of it, and one line making this a V. So that is a V-O. Here's another O hanging out towards the middle. So this is the word circle. This is the inside of the word circle. O's are towards the inside. So V-O-O, and then we have this T stem again with 1, 2, 3 dots next to that. So that is an R. This isn't in English, by the way. And then we have our next word circle. Here's the bottom of it. It's a small circle, so it's a vowel. These two are the same thing. They're both E's, both on the line of that word circle. And then we have another thing that's like an E with a line going outwards, so that's a U. And then we have this another 50% or less completed circle shallow divot with 1, 2 lines ending on it. Now, lines that pass through it don't count for anything. It's just lines that end on the stem that count. So even though this is a curvy line or circle, right, it ends here and it ends here, making this a W. Then we have an I. So it's towards the middle. So if this is the consonant circle, right, this circle, it is inside it. On the line would make it an O, but hanging out inside it makes it an I with the line going towards the middle. And then we have this more than 50% completed deep divot with one line. That makes it a G. And then we have our next word. It is a little circle E on the line of the word circle. Bigger circle with one line, N. So En, then our next word. We have a little circle outside the word circle, so that's an A. Circle inside the line of the word circle with 3 dots. L, continuing around. This is just the line from the I. Here we have our actual T stem with nothing ending on it. So yes, a line passes through it, but nothing ends on it. So that makes it just a T. And then we have an I, line going towards the middle. And again, these lines can be curved. And then we have a circle inside the circle with nothing on it, so that's a J. And then we have a deep divot, more than 50% completed, with 3 dots, so that makes it a D. So A-L-T-I-J-D. And we have our next word, bottom of it. Here's our first stem. It is a circle inside the circle with a line passing through it, but again, line passing through it doesn't count, so that's just a J. Here we have a little circle, so it's a vowel. Line going outwards, so that is a U. So J-U, continuing around. This is all junk on this word circle. And we have a less than 50% completed shallow divot with 3 dots. That makes it an R. Here we have another G. G's, you can have a line going outwards, inwards, curvy, whatever. But one line on this stem makes it a G. We have an E. And we have an N because one line on it. So Jurgen. We have this little circle inside that is an O. Then we have a T. Again, nothing ending on it, just a passing through line. OT. Then we have an I. Continuing around. This dealio is just one line on this stem. So I just made it a circle to kind of balance this thing on this side. Anyway, continuing around. Here's our last stem. It is that 50% or less completed shallow divot. This one's kind of tricky to see what stems end on it. But this is the stem. This is part of the word circle. Here's one line ending on it. Passing through doesn't count. 2 lines, 3 lines ending on it. So 3 lines ending on it. This is just the the U stem continuing around. U line continuing around. But 3 lines on a T stem is an S. So O-T-I-S. Huzzah. Woo, that's this design. Yeah, and again, if you want to thin up the lines and make them all 1 pen stroke thick, that is totally fine. I just kind of like the balance of this if you're going to do a forearm tattoo. Anyway, yeah, that's this design. I hope it works out for you.